Liam, obviously it's been a bit of an inconsistent run of late for the team, but just how good is the squad morale after the win against Forest Green?
Yeah, it's really good. To be fair, it's been good the whole way sort of through. Obviously we've had a little bit of frustration with a couple of results that we've had in recent weeks, but we got a good group of boys. The staff keep on top of us and keep everyone up and ready for the next one. So we always knew it would come. So everyone's been good. We sort of got to put the result the performance deserved, and moving forward, obviously we're excited for the next game.
And second goal of the season for yourself. I mean, even though you are experienced, is that still an area that you're constantly looking to improve in?
Yeah, definitely. I think I said earlier in the season that although I mainly assist, I'd like to definitely chip in with more goals. I feel like I'm getting more chances. I think it's coming. Obviously, the other night, breaking onto the edge of the box and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Obviously, I want to do more, and hopefully, I can get some more chances and add to that some more.
It was a really nice strike as well, and I was wondering how much of a buzz do you get scoring, of course, but compared to getting an assist, because it was at 15 for Blackpool last season and 4 so far for Tranmere this year. How much of a buzz do you get compared from scoring to assisting a goal?
Yeah, it's different. It is. Assisting's nice for me because generally I think it's good play. But scoring's the sort of be all end where everyone like wants to score goals and score match winners and stuff like that. So yeah, and it's a bit more of obviously a rare feeling, especially for me at the minute. So yeah, it's an incredible feeling, especially when you feel like you scored and the goal means something, and you win the game. It's good.
And for the goal to come, 15 minutes from the end, Forest Green just made it 2-1 as well. How important was that just to give that 2-goal cushion going into the latter stages?
Yeah, vital. I think even with the second, I think we scored at good times during the game. They were obviously, you expect to rise out of them coming out second half after we were, I thought, pretty dominant first half, and then we scored at a good time, and then obviously they got one back, and then my goal obviously another good time to sort of keep them at sort of arm's length in the game. And obviously it was important going into the last bit because obviously they piled on a bit of pressure and put crosses across our box. So yeah, we were quite comfortable seeing it out, and we didn't deserve anything but a win.
And of course, coming up against your former club this weekend, Bolton. I mean, it goes without saying a lot has changed at that club since you were there in the Championship. But nevertheless, is it still a special feeling to come up against your former club?
Yeah, I think as a player, as you go throughout your career, you sort of keep an eye out for your past team's results, and you still have friends in the staff at the stadium, around the training grounds, and some players that are still there. It's been a little while since I've been there, but yeah, obviously it's always nice to come up against a sort of an old foe, if you like, or an old friends, whichever way you want to look at it. So yeah, I look forward to it, just like any other game. But yeah.
And it's just over a month ago, isn't it, that you went to Bolton and won 3-0. You got an assist for Peter Clark that day. How much will that match help your preparations for the game?
Not the result probably won't help much in the sense of how we go into the game. We still go about it the same way. Obviously, we know that they're a good side. They like to play football. They're going to try and pass. So we're going to have to take what positives we applied that day to get the result into the game tomorrow, and hopefully get another win. So we'll take heart from the performance and definitely look at the positives, and even stuff that we didn't do that they sort of hurt us with that we can try and improve on.
And just finally for me, Liam, the battle for promotion in any league, it's always going to be tough, isn't it? But given just how tight the top half of League Two is at the moment, does that emphasise the need to get some consistency going?
Definitely, because I think if we do go on a consistent run like we did earlier in the season, we'll be right at the top of this league. And I think that's all it's going to take. A run of 5-6 games, can completely change perspective. We're not badly placed now to mount an assault on the higher positions. So yeah, we do need to put that consistency in. We've got the players, we've got the staff, and everything's geared in the right direction. We just need to produce it now and make sure that we're up there.
Liam, Forest Green were pretty attacking in their approach the other night, which made for an entertaining game, of course. But that's not always been the case with the teams that have come to Prenton Park recently. what would you expect from Bolton? Do you expect them, obviously I think they got 1 win in 6, so are you expecting them to come and be more defensive, which has been something that's been a bit more difficult to break down in recent matches?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think it'll be pretty much a toe-to-toe game, pretty much like the other night. I think the ethos the managers instill in there is that they sort of don't change. They try and play his way all the time. I don't see them coming and just two banks and just trying to block it up. I see them coming and openly trying to win the game and going toe to toe. So it should be for an interesting sort of battle of tactics and players. So we look forward to it.
Of course, you'll be well aware that there's plenty of history between the two sides. Did you find there was any sort of extra edge to the game at their ground a couple of months back?
Obviously, you read about it and the lads hear about it before the game, but not so much. Obviously, the lack of fans in the grounds at the minute is a massive thing. So it probably takes away a little bit of that sort of any need. Or obviously, we're made well aware of any little bits. Obviously, the other night we know there's a bit of history with the Forest Green, so we were well aware of what's expected and what the fans expect. So and that should go without saying for every game. But obviously, you do know that there are certain games that the fans at home would really like a result in, so we're well aware.
Yeah, I think this will definitely be one of them. But you'll obviously have them onside by getting a good win against Forest Green the other night. In that game, I saw some parallels between that and the one a week previous against Leicester under-21s in the way that you played. And it seems, certainly against those two sides, there was plenty of confidence on the ball running through the side, stemming from the back as well. Is that something you felt is true?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something we've been working on for a little while now. We want to be a front foot team and all the running and pressing and winning the ball back and stuff, but we want to be dominant on the ball as well. So that comes from everyone sort of having that confidence to have the ball, the back players included, midfielders moving forward to the striker. So we've all got to be accountable, have the ball, not be too worried about making a mistake, because that we're going to run hard and try and win the ball back anyway. So you've got that freedom really and that license to be brave, because that's a big thing of bravery in football, is getting on the ball and not so much tackles and stuff like that. So being able to get on the ball under pressure. So that's something the boys are doing really well at the minute. The staff have been implementing for a number of weeks now. So hopefully we continue it.
Playing at a high tempo is really good to watch for supporters and for media and for your manager as well, of course. But is that something that you can only really achieve by really working hard in training? Like I noticed the other night, you busting a gut to chase a lost cause down and managed to win a corner off it. Just little things like that. But it's hard to keep that up for 90 minutes, isn't it?
It is, but I think the more that we train it, it's something that we'll only get better at. It's not really something you can turn off and on. That sort of work rate or desire to chase after things, you have to train. It has to be a second nature thing, because it's a hard thing to do. It's the ugly side of football. So but if you do that ugly side as a second nature, then it does become easier to do. And the more and more that we train it and do it in games and see the rewards of getting corners and goals and what we're trying to do, then it'll only continue and reinforce that belief that that's the right thing to do.
Obviously, you're at home against Forest Green, home tomorrow, and then you've got Harrogate as well on Tuesday. So an opportunity there to string together 3 home wins. Do you look at the table as a player at the moment and keep a check on where things are?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie and say you don't look at the table. I think everyone will have a little check. You don't sort of live your life every day looking like you can't be up and down with it, but you do have a look, because you see, we're this many points off of here. We've got this many games. We have a good run over the next week. We'll be right up there. So you are aware of where you are, like 100%. You're aware of what other teams do, because you see the other results come in. But we just try and focus on what we can do. And you see the amount of points and games we've got to play for. We're confident that we're gonna do well.
You're putting a good shift on the pitch, but you still find time to rest off it with a new baby.
Yeah. I'm still getting plenty of rest. My missus has been brilliant. She does most of the work for me after games and lets me have a little rest and before games. So it's been good. We're finding a good balance at the minute.
maybe you could get her a nice present at the end of the season if Tranmere get promoted.
Yeah, I hope she's not watching this now because you dropped me.
Might have stitched you up there, I don't know. That's great, Liam. Thanks very much, mate. Best of luck on tomorrow.
All right, cheers. Thank you.